There's one time I was applying for a job, and to get the job, I had to first fill out this 35-page application. Who comes up with this stuff? I have my fingerprints taken and do a lie detector. Well, not lie detector test. It was like a stress test, but I guess it's the equivalent of a lie detector test. Also a psychological test, right? Sounds simple enough, especially once you make it past the 35 pages of the application. So anyway, on this application, these 35 pages, I'm gonna keep saying it because it was 35 pages. So in this application, they ask you everything you've thought about doing, if you knew anybody that did it, if you did it, forgot about it, then remembered it, all of it. And you had to tell the truth because you would have to answer for it on this stress test or lie detector test, right? So you're supposed to be as truthful as possible, and I did that. So I went through the whole process, did that, got to the psychological test. I don't know if you've ever taken one, but it asks you a whole bunch of like repetitive questions just in different forms. I guess it's trying to see if you'll answer number one way and number 16 a different way, even though they're technically the same question. I guess that tells them if you're crazy or not. And then it throws shapes at you and you're like, oh, shapes, that's cool, I know shapes. Yeah, I know shapes too, until they start mashing and mixing together and you're supposed to pick the next one in the sequence. I am not Doctor Strange. I don't know, like, what? Fast forward to the stress test. Now the stress test is the last thing that you take. So I had to go like downtown to this big like Capitol looking building, very official like, and that's already intimidating in itself, okay? I go up to this place, tell them who I am, and they take me to this room. This padded room. Why does the room have to be padded? Anyway, so I get in this room and it's just me and the test giver, okay? There's this long desk in front of us. He's sitting on one side and I'm of course on the other in this tiny padded room. I immediately think of the first 48, okay? Never mind, I've done nothing wrong, okay? I don't intend to do anything wrong, but I immediately go to the interrogation room on the first 48. Probably watch too much TV. We sit down and he explains how the test is gonna go. So they've pulled questions from my 35-page application and he's just gonna ask me some questions based on my answers from the application. So there's this tiny microphone that's in front of you and it's connected to this laptop that he's looking at, and then the questions begin. He's like, do me a favor, enunciate your words, speak clearly into the microphone. Okay, cool. Once again, simple enough. He, throws softball questions initially. What is your name? Where were you born? Stuff like that. And then he gets into the, I guess, more probing questions. And I can't even say that they're probing because I've already given you my answers to these questions previously. So you already have them. There's no surprises. I know what you're going to ask. I know what my answer is going to be. But I am nervous as crap, okay? I am nervous because I'm in this tiny room with this official looking man who's looking at this laptop and, that's connected to this microphone that I'm speaking in. Not because I was lying and I was hoping that I wouldn't get caught, but because it was an intimidating situation, okay? They already had what I was going to say, so that part I wasn't worried about. It's just a whole ball of it was intimidating. So I took the test and then he said, okay, well, if you could go out into the waiting area for about 10 minutes, I have to decipher your test results. Okay, cool. So I go out, the longest 10 minutes of my life. Felt like an hour. I'm pacing like I'm waiting for news on a baby or something. So they come out, they get me, he brings me back and he's looking at me kind of funny. He was like, there were a couple of answers that were a little ambiguous. What does that mean? What do you mean ambiguous? We've already gone over the answers, so nothing should be ambiguous. I said the answers that I was supposed to say. I don't understand what you mean. Couldn't really explain it to me. He was like, don't worry about it. People take the test multiple times, okay? They usually fail the first time anyway. Oh, okay, that's comforting. So I took the test again, exact same questions, exact same answers. I stepped out once again so he could go over the test results, call me back in. Most of the questions that were ambiguous before have now been cleared up. Now it's just this one question that's kind of wonky. You know, it's not coming back 100% for him. So he's like, I think we need to take it again. But the question that was a little wonky was a question that was so weird. First of all, the question itself was ambiguous, but I gave a truthful answer. And I guess something in my voice the machine didn't like. So it flagged it, I guess. So anyway, took the test the third time. All right. Same answers, enunciating the exact same way, and stepped out once again, came back, and he was like, oh, okay, cool, you passed. And I was like, so what was it? Because I gave you the exact same answers every single time. Nothing changed. Nothing changed with my inflection, my enunciation, nothing. Everything was the same. Oh, I don't know. What? What do you mean you don't know? This is your job to know. You can't explain it to me? No. So I really, at that point, I really wanted to say, well, I was nervous, but I didn't know if that would make it seem like I was trying to lie to you and I was nervous about it. You know, like I didn't want the guy to think that I was trying to beat the test or whatever. I don't know. I probably watched too much crime TV, okay? I was overthinking it and I should have just went in there clear head and knocked it out. I mean, you know, I wasn't comfortable. It wasn't a comfortable situation for me. And I took it 3 times and I guess I passed it the third time. Still didn't get the job. So obviously the powers that be thought I was lying. But it was actually just nerves. Dad blasted crime TV.